Fiddling with the technology. There we go. That's not the best picture quality I've ever seen in my life, but there you go. Hi, it's Jonathan Clark. Welcome to the Fill Your Books webcast. That is pretty poor quality, isn't it? Okay, let's see if we can tidy this up as we go along. Thank you for tuning in at this part of the evening. It's been a busy day. The whole purpose of this call is as part of my launch process for the book called Fill Your Books, the 5 Keys to Making More Money from Your Business. And I thought it'd be a good idea to show up live on a webinar format or a webcast format and share some of my ideas about what the book's about, but also give some valuable content and looking to speak to new startups, looking to speak to existing entrepreneurs, looking to speak to established businesses as well, and share with you some ways to increase the number of inquiries that you get, some ways to increase the number of deals that you close, and to figure out ways to manage your time better so you can actually take time out and you can spend more time doing the things you want to do, whether that's going on holiday, whether that's playing with your kids, like I do, and generally having fun. So that is why you got into business after all, was to make money and have the kind of lifestyle that you want to have. And that's really what this is all about. So if you don't know me, my name is Jonathan Clark. I'm just fiddling with the settings and seeing if we can get this looking a little bit better. Hopefully you can hear me right now. If you can hear me, what I'd like to do is just quickly type in the box there on the screen and just say hello, just introduce yourself, send a little message and let me know how you're doing while I fiddle with the technicals. Yeah, so as I say, my name is Jonathan Clark. I've worked for myself now for a long number of years, and I now advise other business owners in how to launch and how to grow and ultimately how to sell and exit from their own enterprise. And I wouldn't advise you do it the way I did it. I made lots of mistakes. I've made some poor decisions, and I just fumbled my way along out of nothing but sheer enthusiasm. And it worked, but it wasn't ideal. So I would recommend that's not the way you do it in the future. I'm going to share with you some ideas today that I think will give you useful strategies and help you with some of the ways that you're running your business. Will help you streamline things and just make things easy for yourself, because ultimately that's really what this is about. Whether you're sitting there brand new to business and you've got an idea and you think you would like to launch something, maybe you get an idea for a business or a web presence or something and you want to just run with it, fantastic, you're in exactly the right place. If you're an existing business owner right now, perhaps you're struggling, perhaps you're finding things difficult, maybe you're thinking that, there must be an easier way to this, this is really hard, in which case then I can probably help you with that. Maybe you are already at a particular level of growth and development in your business and you want to make it to the next level. You want to just scale things up, and make it better. So these are all the kind of situations that I'm good at helping people with, and I'm really good at making other people successful. It's weird, but I've discovered that, the whole thing about surge and heal thyself. So I can apply stuff to me and it works okay. But when I apply it to somebody else, it's like a revelation. And I don't know why that is. It just seems to be the way it is. So that's kind of what I've realized I'm good at doing. So that's what I'm going to do. I have no idea why the camera is doing what it's doing. It's very kind of weird. This is actually the first time I've used Google Hangouts. And I'll tell you why that's about. I've run a 14-day launch sequence for my book, which came out today. And what I decided to do was implement an awful lot of the strategies that I teach other people to do. But part of it was to do it on an absolute shoestring budget, and even try and do it for free. Because one of the objections that I hear sometimes is that people don't have the money, they don't have the budget to invest in a product launch or a rebranding exercise. And what I often tell people is, look, you can do an awful lot of these things at either free, zero cost, or very little cost. So along the way in this 14-day launch, what I've tried to do is to walk my talk and to practice what I preach and actually set up free web pages and do things on a really low cost basis. And part of that is using my normal webcam which is attached to Google Hangouts, which of course is a free service. Now, the picture quality ain't great, but hopefully you can hear me okay. And this will get recorded, so if you can't hang around for whatever reason, this will be available for replay later on, and I'm certainly going to be scrutinizing it. I'm also going to be studying more about how you get the camera to sit still and stop doing this zooming in thing that it's doing. But anyway, if you can bear with the weird special effects and the 1960s camera angles, this is all about the launch of my book. The book's called Fill Your Books, and it's all about how to get more leads for your business, how to generate more qualified inquiries, how to convert more of those into deals and into business, bottom line, and also how to streamline and automate a lot of systems and outsource things so that you can take more time out and have more of a life, more of that work-life balance. That's the old joke about you stop working for one idiot for 40 hours and now you work for a new idiot for 80 hours, you know? Going self-employed, running your own business is a minefield. That's why a lot of people don't do it. Why a very small percentage of the population do it. But it's in my blood, and it's probably in yours too if you're watching this right now. So that's really what we're all about. So do introduce yourself in the chat box there on the screen, and let me know that you're here and who you are about, what you're all about, what your business is. And also, I'd ask you one question that I'd love you to type into that box. I'd like to ask you, what is your single biggest headache in your business right now? What's the one thing that if you could fix that, it would solve an awful lot of problems for you? Because that's something that I'd like to help you with if I can. Okay, now here's my thinking behind the book. I've published 3 books so far on Amazon. The first book was a personal development book. It's called Ignite and Unshackle the Latent Power of You, which is my passion. It's all about the mind and the emotions and how you run your head. Massive tome, 500 odd pages, way too big. It took me 6 months to write it, and it was really to get a lot of information out to people, to help people as much as possible, because that's a big one of my drivers, is to help people. The second book I brought out was called Jonathan Clark's Guide to Marketing Your Business Online, and it's all about using the internet to get eyeballs and to be seen, because I still think people don't really get the sheer power of internet marketing and what it can do for a small to medium enterprise. The third book was called Lose Weight for Scotland, and that's one of my businesses, which is a weight loss speciality. And the book is a complete 90-day weight loss program using hypnosis and various other things. This book, Fill Your Books, is all about the 5 core fundamentals that have to be in place, in my opinion, and it is only my opinion, for any business to be successful. See, I parachute into companies all the time. I get called in to work with one-man band and small to medium enterprises, maybe 5 to 20 employees, and sometimes the big guys as well. And as a consultant, my job is to sit down and effectively do therapy on the business. You know, business consulting is therapy on a business. And I'm looking for the limiting beliefs and the ineffective behaviors and the low morale and all these things. I'm also looking at the marketing processes. I'm looking at what are their goals, where are they going, who's the target audience, who are they trying to serve, what products and services do they have in place, and how do people find out about them? How do people hear about them in the first place? Do they retain customers? Do they follow up customers? Do they offer other products and services? And these are all kind of really basic questions from a business point of view. And what I often find is there are massive holes in that company's processes. And just by patching up some of those holes, you can make vast differences in a business's productivity and profitability. Now, another thing that I often notice is certain key things that are always missing. There's always the same things keep showing up as red flags. And so I have a process now that I take businesses through, and it is literally 20 steps. I wish it was less, but I can't get it to less. It's 20 steps from birth to death. Okay, so if someone's starting up an idea, they want to become a life coach, they want to set up a dog grooming business, they want to do whatever they want to do. From initial seed of an idea here, all the way along to this thing's actually up and running and making money, all the way to maybe selling it as an asset, flipping the business, is 20 steps. And I think they're all pretty much essential. But I was tasking myself with, can I narrow it down? Can I compress this? Can I make this smaller? Can I minimize it? Can I make it even more streamlined? And after much deliberation, I narrowed it down to 5. There are really 5 core pillars that have to be in place if you've got a snowball's chance in hell of succeeding. And statistically speaking, 19%, 19% of businesses actually make the first 5 years and survive the first 5 years. So, that's a lot of businesses that don't make it. And I'm interested in why they don't make it. And I'm interested in helping them to ensure that they get somewhere. And these 5 principles seem to be the ones that absolutely are the ones that cause people problems. They're the fundamentals that need to be in place. And they're the 5 things that I would do if I was starting from scratch tomorrow. These are the 5 things I would do. Now, let me quickly tell you what they are. The first one is to have a very, very clear goal. Rule number 1, always, is have a goal. What's your outcome? What are you trying to achieve? Where are you trying to go? Who are you trying to serve? What's the end result that you are trying to achieve for yourself? Okay, that's rule number 1. And when you ask a company its goals, the answer is usually sell more. There's not even a figure on it. So rule number 1, have a very clear goal. And I would ask you, if you're in business, what's your outcome for your business right now? What do you want? What do you want to see happen? Second step is the mindset. It's okay to set the goal, but if you don't have your mindset straight, you're never going to achieve that goal. So the second step is to look at, okay, what do I need to believe and how do I need to think and what needs to go on in here to make sure that my enterprise out there flies? Now, you could try and work that out yourself. You could spend decades making mistakes trying to figure it out. Or you could model other successful people and look at the common denominators that they all seem to think. All the pioneers, all the business successes, all the Bransons and the Dragons and all these guys, there's certain key things that keep showing up every single time. So when you break it down, there are fundamental beliefs that empower business people. And again, I like to try and coach and install and encourage those belief systems into my clients because they seem to work. So that's really important. Your mindset towards your attitude towards your business. So, for instance, do you think you're a good business person? Do you think you're a good salesperson? Do you like the idea of being called a salesperson? These are really important. Is there a market for what you've got? Is it difficult right now? Or is there someone out there really screaming for your product and all you need to do is find them? How do you perceive yourself and your business? That's really, really important. The third thing that you need to have in place every single time is you really need to know who's your target client. You can't afford to speak to everyone with a pulse, and you actually don't want everyone with a pulse. You need to speak to certain key specific people that you can help. So who is your target audience? Could you point one out to me right now? Could you describe one of these guys to me right now if you tried? Could you point someone out in the street to me and say, they're one of mine? Because if you can't, there's a problem there. You need to be really, really, really clear on who it is that you want to talk to. Because if you don't know, how on earth are you gonna find them, right? How can you hit a target you can't see? How can you go fishing if you don't know what exactly your bait needs to be? And you need to know if there's any fish in this river. And you need to know what kind of fish it is, because only certain fish are nice to eat. So target marketing is really important. Who is your ideal client? You need to know. Then once you know that, the next step you need to think about, number 4, is, okay, what am I going to offer them? What have I got that helps them? If they've got a headache, do I have a cure? If they've got a particular problem, do I have a solution? Who can I serve and how can I serve them? What exactly can I do for them, right? So you offer a number of products, services, or treatments for that target client. And ideally more than one. There's a lot of companies and a lot of businesses, it's a one-hit wonder, right? So I'm going to come and I'm going to fix your blocked drain, and that's it. Bye. And that's it. And so you're always looking for other people with blocked drains. At least have a maintenance program. At least have a 12-month checkup contract where you go back once a year and keep the drains cleared and charge an annual fee for that. At least, come on, right? What other products and services are you going to offer that client once you've served them once? Is there anything else you can help them with further down the line? So ideally, you have like what I call a conveyor belt or a client path that you're going to take people down. Okay, so you might pick up, for instance, in the personal development world, you might pick up Tony Robbins' book. Okay, you might buy Awaken the Giant Within or Unlimited Power. Great. Now, is that it? Tony just sold you a book. Tony's probably made a couple of pounds on that. End of story. No, you're then going to get an offer either in the book or through the mail of Tony's CD set. Okay, so now Tony's CD set is on offer to you. Let's say you buy that. You're probably then going to be offered tickets to come and see Tony live. Okay, when you go and see Tony live, say the Fireworks seminar, he's going to sell you on his £15,000 Mastery University course to Fiji or Hawaii. I should know, I've done them. You then do that course. On that course, you're going to be sold the £60,000 Platinum program, which is working with him one-on-one, right? That process is a conveyor belt. And every successful business has a process like that. At least they should. Because think about it. Your client who buys just a book is going to spend £10, £20 buying the book. That's it. You have to shift an awful lot of books if you want to make any decent money. But if the client then spends £16,000 going to Fiji, that's quite a good investment, and that's a good return for that business. So the more products and services you offer, the more money that client is worth. Okay, think about the average lady's haircut. Average lady's haircut, I'm told, about 60, 70, 80 pounds. You can tell me if I'm right or not. And it's every 6, 7, 8 weeks. So that's not like a £60 haircut. If you think about it, that's more like a £60 haircut 8 times a year or whatever it is. So that's actually, that client's worth whatever that is, £500. Okay, it's not a £60 haircut. It's a £500 client per annum. So the lifetime value of your client, how much they spend with you over and over again, is really, really important. And ideally, you would have a series of products and services in a conveyor belt arrangement that you continue to go back to that client and offer them. And then the fifth thing that most businesses don't have, and they really should, and it's really easy, is to have an irresistible offer. Okay, is to have some mouth-wateringly simple, brain-dead easy. The client will bite your hand off to get this thing because it's free or very low cost. Just as a lead generator, just to get the client to put the hand up and say, yes, I'm needing your services. Okay, so if you go back to the old days where you had like the CD of the month club, so for £1 you could get a CD, right? Any CD or any 5 CDs. Now it's costing them more than £1 to make those CDs, but just think about it. Now they've got your name and address. Now they know you're a CD enthusiast. They're then going to follow you up because they know you're going to buy more CDs over the course of the year, right? It's the free trial session, right? It's the test drive of the car. It's give something for free, a white paper, a chapter 1 of a book for free, for instance. Any of these things for nothing, because that then gets the client to put their hand up and say, yes, I'm an interested party. They put their name and email into a box, or they send you a form or whatever it is, fill in a card. You've now got them. You can now start to follow them up. They're getting something valuable and useful and beneficial to them for nothing. You've now got the name and address and email, and you can follow them up thereafter. That's an irresistible offer. So if you've got your goal, you've got the right mindset, you've targeted your market, you've got a conveyor belt of products and services, and you've got that first offer to get people in, you're off to a great start. And those things are going to feed you forever if you set them up properly. So that's what I'm all about. That's what the book Fill Your Books is all about. Now, if you don't already know, it's available on Amazon today. It's 99p. Okay, it will go up to about $9.99, but at the moment, because it's launch period, I'm offering it for 99 pence. So if you could do me a favor and grab a copy of it on Kindle today, just go to amazon.com or amazon.co.uk, type in fill your books dash the 5 keys. That'll do it. Or put in my name, Jonathan Clark, Fill Your Books. You'll see it right there. Just grab it. Or you can go to fillyourbooks.co.uk and there'll be a page there. Now, if you go there, there's a sneaky little bonus. So fillyourbooks.co.uk. If you go there, you click the link, you'll buy the book on Kindle from Amazon, 99 pence. You'll then get a receipt from Amazon, okay? You'll find on fillyourbooks.co.uk, there's an email address. If you email me the receipt that you get from Amazon, I will then send you my business bailout package. Now, let me tell you what this is. Business bailout package was actually a product that I sold a few years ago. It's called From Trouble to Triumph. What it is a kind of turnaround package. It's like an emergency life raft for businesses that are in deep trouble. And what it does is it gets you to assess where you're bleeding. It gets you to create a cash injection that buys you some breathing space and some time to kind of regroup and re-strategize. So it creates a quick burst of cash to sustain you till you're able to kind of work out where you're going next and what you need to change, okay? Which is probably one of the 5 things I mentioned earlier on. So if you grab the book from fillyourbooks.co.uk, buy it on Amazon, get the receipt, email that receipt to me at the address that's on that page, we'll send you the bonuses automatically. You get a full colour workbook that you can work through. I call it a playbook, with step-by-step guide on how to do it. And you get a 67-minute audio of me teaching you how to do it, which you can listen to in the car, you can listen to on your phone, it's an MP3, and it will walk you through the business bailout package. So between the book and the package for 99p, you're getting a real 25 years of condensed knowledge and real how-to stuff that will benefit you or benefit someone you know that's maybe struggling. So if you know people who are not paying their bills, you know people who've got lots of accounts receivable, they've maybe got the tax man breathing down their neck, they're maybe really struggling. We've seen a couple of big companies go to the wall in the media this very week. We're still feeling the effects of the recession. If you know anyone who's struggling, or if it's you, please, for 99p, get a hold of the bonuses and get the book. And this is like an ethical bribe. This is like an irresistible offer. Effectively, I'm practicing what I preach. God forbid. I'd like you to grab it because it's going to help you. Now, I'm trying to get an Amazon bestseller. So what I'm trying to do is to sell as many copies of the book on Kindle as I possibly can within a 24-hour period, because that's how you get an Amazon bestseller. It's kind of like a movie release. It's all about the build-up, and then there's the opening night. And that's what I'm attempting to do. So I'm kind of bribing you here, hopefully ethically, hopefully influencing you with integrity, that you'll grab the download, grab the stuff, use it, apply it, squeeze the living daylights out of it, because it really can turn things around for you. Okay? Now, let me give you an example of some of the people I've worked with recently, or one of the people I've worked with recently, that you might benefit from listening to the story and picking up some tips from. I worked with a company, they were Timber Kit House firm up in the north of Scotland. These guys sell ready-built timber house kits. So essentially for £35,000, you get all the gubbins that will build the framework of the house that you can then build. Okay, so if it's a self-build kind of thing or a rapid project to set up a bunch of houses, these are the guys you go to. Now, they had an old kind of crusty website they'd had for a few years. There was some photographs on there. It's a family-run business, had been around for ages. 2 managing directors in charge of it. They needed a web presence, and their presence at the time wasn't that great. So I think I got referred to them by another client. Went up to see them, had a meeting with them, and they asked me for a proposal, which is interesting because I don't usually do proposals. I've learned not to do proposals because when someone says they want a proposal, what it usually means is, I just want to be nice to this guy and get him out of here. I don't really want to do any business with him, or we can't afford it, or whatever it is, or we've changed our mind. So I said, great, you want a proposal? Do you have a flip chart? And I put the proposal on the flip chart, and the proposal was basically a diagram. And they liked it so much they went, let's just get this into place because it looks like it's going to do the job for us. Now, one of the things that they needed was, first of all, they didn't need this big website that had everything on it. And it was the usual kind of thing. It's about me, homepage, blah, 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 yawn, yawn, yawn. A typical brochure website like that website designers tend to sell you and website designer clients tend to buy, has about a 5% response rate. So out of every 100 people that go to a site like that, most of them will start ferreting about, reading the information, and they either get bored and leave, or they get confused and overwhelmed and leave, right? Very few will go to the contact us page and actually fill in the box and send you an inquiry. That's just the truth. That's not the place I would send someone in the first instance. That's great for existing customers and for taking people along your conveyor belt and showing them what else you do. In the first instance, I recommended this business had what's called a squeeze page or a landing page. Now, a landing page is a one-page website, no links, nothing on it. Basically, just here's this cool free thing that you really need because I know who my target client is. If you put your name and email in the box, I'm going to give you this free thing. You'll see one of them on my website. If you go to instantedge.co.uk, which is one of my websites, you'll see I'm offering the 9 positioning strategies, which is a really cool interview. You want to grab that as well. It's free. An interview I did with a friend of mine called Brian, which is just mind-blowing. It's just full of fantastic strategies, 9 specific strategies to outmarket your competition. Well worth listening to. Where was it? Oh, yeah. So you have this single-page website with an offer asking for your name and email in return for this really cool free thing. There's no other links. There's nowhere else to go. It's a case of either grab it or leave. That kind of website typically has about a 30, 40, 50% conversion rate, okay? Because it's very targeted. It's speaking to one person. It's making them an irresistible offer, and there's nothing to confuse or distract them. I recommended the timber frame company had one of them as well as their main site, but we send traffic to that page first, and then we send them to the main site later. Okay. I also recommended they had a blog because it's something they didn't have. Blog is short for weblog, all the rage. A blog's more like a journal. It's more like it's a non-salesy site. People go to a blog fully expecting to not be sold, and typically what they're going to get is they're going to get the business owner, but minus the shirt and tie, probably sitting back, showing them pictures of their dog, showing them pictures of the new van. It's a lot more social and it's a lot more personal. It's still the business person, but it's more personal. So I recommend they have a blog as well because blogs rank on the search engines really well, and you can put a lot of really cool information on a blog. So there's now 3 websites in my plan. You've got the landing page, you've got the main site, and you've got the blog. The other thing they didn't have was they didn't have any web presence on Google. They didn't have a Google local listing. So if you typed in their name and address, there's nothing showing up on Google apart from their site. They needed that. They didn't have a Facebook presence. They didn't have a Twitter presence. They didn't have a LinkedIn presence. All free. Listen, more people use Facebook than use Google. Let that sink in for a minute. More people, I like what the camera's doing, more people use Facebook than use Google. So you need to be on Facebook. Okay. So we got all that set up for them. But the real gold dust, and this was the interesting thing, I asked them, how many different kits do you have? How many different kit houses do you sell? 35 came the answer. I went, great. How would I learn about your kit houses if I wanted to, build my own house? How would I know which kit house to go for? Do you have like a catalogue? Do you have? It turned out they had 35 CAD videos. The kind of 3D rendering kind of videos that architects and stuff create. They have 35 of those sitting on a hard drive in their office doing nothing, right? So I grabbed a hold of them and I looked at them and thought, these are gold dust. 35? Now, there's about 15 to 20 videos channels. You know about YouTube, but there's also Vimeo and Motionbox and Veo and a whole bunch of other video channels. Here's an idea, Mr. Client. What if we took those 35 assets that are sitting on your hard drive right now and we loaded them up with all the right search phrases so they're search engine optimized, they're SEO'd. They've all got your name and phone number on the bottom of them, driving people to your landing page where they can get your cool free offer and get them into your database. What if we send those 35 videos, all search engine optimized, out to those 15, 20 different websites and drip feed them over the next week or so that Google likes the kind of build up of presence and doesn't think you're spamming Google. But all of a sudden, they've got 35 times 20 different feeders all feeding the lake, rivers feeding the lake, all going to this offer, killer offer on the front page. People then start putting their hand up. They've already seen the videos. They've picked which one of the houses they like. They then typed in for the free thing, which I think was a free consultation and something else, gift vouchers on completion. And now they get followed up by email. So the business owners don't have to do any follow-up because the email system follows them up for them automatically. And guess what? They sold a shed load, is that the right word, of kit houses that year. Awesome. And what they made in profit, what they paid me, I think one kit house more than cover my fee, So, and that's the way I like to do it. I like to kind of one and done. So if I can generate or help them generate sales that cover my fees, effectively I'm free, And time after time, I meet businesses who are sitting on assets, and they've maybe got bits. They've maybe got a Facebook page that's got tumbleweeds on it. They've maybe got a wee video that the Yale.com made them. They've maybe got bits and bobs lying around, but there's no kind of cohesive message. When you target your market and you've got an irresistible offer and you know the product sequence you're going to take people through, it's really easy to put these bits of the jigsaws together, and all of a sudden leads start to appear. And that's a huge part of what I'm about, and that's a huge part of what the book is about. If you've just tuned in, I see a few people have joined us. This is a live webcast. I'm Jonathan. How you doing? I apologize for the weird camera effects. Don't know what that's about. I'm here tonight talking about my book, Fill Your Books, the 5 keys to making more money for your business, available on Amazon right now. And this is part of a launch sequence that I'm doing to promote my book. Now, think about this. The whole promise of my book is to get more leads for your business, to close more deals in your business, and to take more time off. So I'd like you to think about this for a minute. Just think about this for a minute. Just suppose your number of leads, the number of inquiries that you get coming in every day, whether it's email, phone, web, postcard, however you generate leads. What if your number of leads increased by, say, 10%, right? And what if we said your follow-up systems and some of the customer service systems that you can build in converted more of those clients? So instead of maybe converting 1 in 10, maybe you converted 3 in 10. What would that do to your bottom line? I mean, right now, do me a favor, grab a pen and paper. Grab a pen and paper. And I want you to write down somewhere what an average client is worth to you. And I mean an average client. I mean, obviously there'll be a wide range here, but what was on average? What's a client worth to you? Take home. Okay, they buy a £30,000 kit house. Is it a £25 massage? What's a client worth to you on average? 1. And then think about how many clients do you have in your books right now? Or how many clients do you have in your books at any one time? So if you're like a window cleaner and you maybe got, I don't know, 50 clients on your books at any one time, and they're each spending £10, right? So effectively, if you divide your paper into 3 columns, you've got number of clients, you've got the average spend, and then you've got how many spends in a year, for instance. So how many clients do you currently have? What's their average spend, and how many spends in a year? If you multiply those 3 figures together, bit of maths here, bet you weren't expecting that. You then work out what that's earning you, what your income is, what your turnover is from that number of clients spending that amount of money that number of times. So just take a minute or two to get that in the calculator and work this out. Just ballpark. Okay. Now, draw a line, and then underneath that, I want you to do a second line of figures. I want you to increase your number of clients by 10%, whatever that is. So if you get 10 clients, it's 11. If it's 100 clients, it's 110. And I want you to imagine increasing the average spend. How could you get them to increase the average spend? Which reminds me of a story. So let's say you take the average spend. Let's say a client's worth £100 to you, and you could get that up to £110, right? Or whatever it is. What others could you offer them fries with that? You know, could you upsell them? Could you build in a package? Could they get their hair done and leave with some product? Or could they get their hair done and leave with a brush? What is it you can add into the package? And then number of spends. How many times in the year do they spend money with you? So if it's a hairdressing salon and the ladies come in every 6 weeks, which is what, 8 times a year, could you get her coming in every 5 weeks? Because that'd be 10 times a year. And if you just play with the figures here, so you've got an increased number of clients, an increased average spend, and an increased number of sales, work out what your income would be there. Let's just do 10%. 10% more clients, 10% increased sale, 10% more sales. What would the figure be? Just take a wee moment to calculate that just now. Get the calculator out and actually work out what that comes to. Okay. Interesting, isn't it? If you just got a couple of extra clients spending a little bit more, coming a wee bit more often, there's a lot to your bottom line. Now, if you work back the way and you look at this second income figure, but you kept the same number of sales as you normally have, and you kept the same spend average that you normally have, work out how many clients you would need. to make that spend, to make that total turnover? Because it'd be a heck of a lot more. If you just increase the number of customers, it's a heck of a lot more. Now, increasing the number of customers is the most expensive thing you can do, both in terms of cost and also in terms of time. Because the more clients you've got, the more time you're spent servicing those clients. The personal trainer who's maybe got, 20 clients spending 50 quid a time. Well, do you know what? There's a limit to how many hours that personal trainer can actually do in a week before he collapses or before she collapses, falls over. So there's a cap on the earnings right away. But what if you just increase the number of clients slightly, but you increase the average spend, or you put your fees up, and you maybe got them to spend money more often? That would be interesting to see what that would do to your bottom line. So I'll give you an example, I'll give you a story. There's a great story, and I've actually got this in the book, about the old days, if you remember, when you drove into a petrol station, right? And there'd be a little wire on the forecourt. And as you drove over the petrol station, it would ding, 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 ding. And the wee man would come out of the garage and ask you how much petrol you want, and then fill you up. So as in the old days, the garages start to bring in other ancillary products. So they now start selling motor oil or squeegees or chamois leathers or whatever, turtle wax. Before we had Starbucks and supermarkets bolted onto every garage. The wee man would come out, ding, 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 and he would say, do you want me to check your oil? Okay. Now, in 90% of cases, customers would say, nah, you're fine. Don't bother. Not interested. Just give me the petrol. See you later. There's your money. Bye. And an experiment was done, I think it was in the 60s, to test what sentence the petrol attendant could say to generate more sales of oil, right? And they tried different things. And eventually they hit upon a sentence that created, I think it was 9 times or 10 times the sales of oil just by asking one sentence different from what they normally ask. So let me ask you, what would you ask if you're the petrol attendant to sell more oil? What would you ask the drivers as they come into your garage? Let me give you the actual sentence that they used. The sentence they used was, do you want me to check that your oil is at a safe level? Interesting question. It's what's called a presupposition in that question, or do you know if your oil level is safe? Is a similar sentence. Now that's a loaded sentence, but guess what? 9-10 times increase in sales of oil just by changing one sentence. Where in your marketing could you change one sentence and it would make a whole difference to everything else? Your opening line when you meet someone in a networking event, what do you say? When someone says, what do you do? Right? I was at a networking event this morning, and I was introduced to a new lady, and I asked her, what do you do? And she told me, and to be honest, I was none the wiser. So I was like, okay, I'm not really sure what that means. So what's your opening gambit? What do you say when people ask you that? You're sitting on a plane and someone says, what do you do? What do you say? Because that one sentence could make or break whether you get a deal or not, whether you get a client out of that or not. Now, maybe you're not off duty, you don't want to have a client. But the times when you're on, you're in prospecting mode, what do you say? And what could you say to increase your level of motor oil sales? Okay, I've just had a little message from one of my clients who's asking me a question. He's saying here, you promised us a prize if we came on the webcast. I don't remember that, to be honest, but you've given me a seed of an idea. I was actually talking to someone tonight about this webcast. This is the first time I've used Google Plus or Google Hangouts. And I think my camera's been a bit weird, but apart from that, I think we're doing okay. And I thought, would it be a good idea to have like a contest, see if we could boost sales? Because we've got a few hours left in the launch day. And I was toying with the idea of, okay, shall we do like a prize draw? Shall we do, for anyone who watches this webcast and messages me their name in the box down there, they go into a prize draw. What would be a suitable prize to offer somebody on a webcast about marketing when I'm selling a book that's on Kindle on Amazon? And I thought, how about a Kindle Fire? How about a Kindle Fire that you could read that book on, or you could download, whatever you want to do? So a handheld, tablet. So here's what I'm going to offer. I'm going to offer a Kindle Fire HD6, right? Quite a nice little piece of kit for free as a prize. For anybody who wants to buy the book who doesn't already have it, all right, let's see if that's something that you would like to do. So let's just suggest that we're putting up for grabs a Kindle Fire HD6, which is worth about £80 roughly at the moment. And we're going to do this as a contest, because I need a quick favour, and it's to encourage you to say yes. So I'm going to give the brand new Kindle Fire away over this weekend. Would you like a Kindle Fire HD6? It's worth about 80 quid, and someone watching this webcast, either live or on replay, is going to win it. The question is, will it be you? So in order for my book to become an official bestseller on Amazon's Kindle platform, I have to have real people and real customers buying the book for real. Okay. Now, I kind of roughly know how many I need to sell to get to that position. So I'm wondering if you're going to help me. I wonder if I can enlist your aid. So a good way to motivate you would be the ethical bribe, as I've said before, the irresistible offer. So you and a few other nice, lovely people will buy my new Kindle book for just 99p on Amazon. It's called Fill Your Books, the 5 Keys to Making More Money for Your Business. 99p for now. It will be going up to 9.97. But for less than a quid, you can get some really useful information that would help you run a business or start a business or grow a business. Right? Now, I don't know if only 2 people will do this for me or 100 people will do this for me, but the odds of you winning a Kindle Fire are way better than winning the lottery, for instance. Okay? So I'm going to take all the names of people who leave me a little message on that chat box to tell me they've done it from that page, and I'm going to put them in a hat, and I'm going to randomly pull out the winner and get a brand new Kindle Fire HD6 to them. Okay? I'm going to have it shipped straight to your home, no matter what country you live in, just because you bought a 99p Kindle book. Does that sound like a good deal? And even if you don't win, you still get to download the book. You get a really great book on business growth and marketing. You'll also get all the bonuses, the business bailout package. It's called From Trouble to Triumph, which shows you how to create a cash injection and buy yourself some time. And after this promotion, I'm going to raise the price back to probably $9.97, maybe even higher than that. Okay. Now, I know I'm being really greedy by asking you to spend an entire £1, but could you just do that for me tonight? Even if you don't own the book, that's the reason behind that. Okay. Buyers are given more credibility than non-buyers. So if you can buy it for me, Amazon will rate it a lot higher. Okay. And you'll see if you go to fillyourbooks.co.uk, there's a big Amazon buy now button. Just click that. It'll take you straight through and you're off and running. Because Fill Your Books is a really good book. I'm really proud of it. I wouldn't be sitting here and putting my face on Google if I wasn't very, very proud of it. And I'm very passionate about the topic. So if you could do me a favor and grab that today, and I'll enter you into the prize draw. It has to be today. I'll enter you into the prize draw, and one of you will be winning a Kindle Fire HD6. Okay, so how are we doing for time? I think we'll be wrapping this up shortly. Let me just look at a couple of questions here that I've got here. Conveyor belt question here from Jimbo is asking, how many products and services should I have in a conveyor belt? Good question. I would suggest a minimum of 3. Minimum of 3, which would be your free thing, your basic service, and then a big ticket service, right? So look at your basic service, whatever your product, service, or treatment is that you offer customers. Take that as your middle thing. And that's the kind of basic bread and butter type client, right? But you also want to have an irresistible offer before that. You want to have something either free or very low cost. So you'll often see book deals done where someone offers you a book. The book's free, but you have to pay shipping and handling, right? So you might be paying $1.95 just to get the thing shipped to you, but the book itself is free. See, that's interesting because by charging you money and forcing you to get your credit card out, they're eliminating the tire kickers, they're eliminating the looky-loos, and they're making sure that you're in a buying relationship with them. You at least invested something into that relationship, right? Or you can do a completely free offer. Now, if you do a completely free offer where there's no money changing hands, you'll get a lot more responders, but you'll also get a lot more tire kickers and looky-loos and people who just want the free stuff. right? They've got no intentions of doing business with you. They just want the freebies. So just be aware of that. That's kind of part of the gig. But I would definitely have a low or zero cost irresistible offer, something that the client would bite your hand off to get, and it's free. So what can you give your client right now that would help them? It would move them forward in their journey, get them closer to their goal, but it costs nothing. Yeah. You then have your basic service. So it's the thing that you do, the car servicing or the architect drawings or the massage or the drainage, whatever it is. I then also suggest you have a third thing, minimum, which is your big ticket. So you can have the big enchilada. You know, you're going to have the 5-day retreat in Malta. You're going to have the super duper maintenance program. You're going to have the elite level club thing that you're going to offer to your clients. Now, here's where you can get a quick cash bonanza right up front. You can create a jackpot reward immediately. What if you took your existing database right now? Everybody you've got in your existing database right now, and I hope you've got a database, please tell me you've captured names and addresses of your clients. If you're not, start doing it today. But take your existing database of clients, however many you've got, and today offer them your big ticket thing. Okay? You don't have to actually have it built yet. You don't have to have it all created, but you could make the offer. You could construct basically what it is, give it a good name, give it a rough price, and offer it to them today. You know, it's no skin off your nose if nobody buys it, but what if somebody did? What if somebody said, yeah, do you know what? I quite fancy the 5-day retreat in Malta. Now you know you've got a product to create. Why go to all the time and effort of creating a product or service that nobody wants? Why not just make an offer of something and see if people want it, right? And when someone bites, you go and hurry up and create it. But at least you know you've got a customer. So I would suggest your minimum, to answer Jim's question, your minimum is 3. Free thing, basic thing, big ticket thing. Okay? Let's see what else we have here. Do these methods in the book work for one-man bands like tradesmen, etc.? Yes, they do. Absolutely. I've got a lot of one-man band clients that I've worked with over the years, be they plumbers, electricians, joiners, massage therapists, life coaches, lots. Irish pubs, that was a one-man band, believe it or not. Yeah, loads. The principles are the same. The principles are the same. It doesn't matter whether you're a mega corporation or whether you are a one-man person or you're a brand new startup or whether you're an 18-year-old entrepreneurial young dude who's got an idea for something killer. The principles are the same. It's psychology. If you know what your goal is, if you've set yourself a target and you know who it is you want to help, your mindset is geared for success and you're willing to put the work in and you're passionate about your topic and you're passionate about helping people, you have a range of at least 3 products and services to offer, and you've got a killer irresistible offer at the front. You're off to the races. Okay? Doesn't matter what you do, doesn't matter what area you're in, doesn't matter whether you're an established business or you're brand new, you're off, right? And if you're already an established business, chances are at least one of those 5 things is currently missing, if you're honest. Now, if it's not, and you've sorted it all, you don't need me, you don't need my book, you don't need to listen to a word I tell you. However, I suspect, because I meet it all the time, I go into companies all the time and I think, do you know, I'm not even sure why they're asking me in here because it looks like the whole thing's, whole kit and caboodle is taken care of, right? The perception on the outside is these guys are flying. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised at how often I go into a company and it's a complete shambolic mess. It's just like, oh my God, how are you guys still in business? Sometimes just blind luck. So yeah, if you're brand new, you're a startup, or you've got an idea, maybe it's not even that far, maybe you just got a seed of an idea, please grab the book, fillyourbooks.co.uk. If you're an existing business and you're looking for inspiration, you're looking for a cash injection, you're looking for a bit of direction or something to breathe life into it again, maybe you're getting a bit jaded, grab hold of the book. If you are already got a successful business, but you want to try and take it up a notch, then definitely look at the information on mindset, definitely look at the information on goals. It reminds me of a t-shirt I saw that said, I've upped my standards, now up yours. You want to raise your game, you want to raise the bar, grab this stuff and read all about it. Okay? Alrighty. So I think I've rabbited you long enough, and I think this is a sufficient test of the Google Hangout system. The picture quality is not that great. I do apologize about that. However, I think if you're only worried about the picture quality, then you're not my target client. If you're interested in the quality of the information that's available here, then you absolutely are someone I want to be talking to. So do grab a hold of the book. If you can do that today, that'd be fantastic. fillyourbooks.co.uk. We'll enter your details into the contest to win a Kindle Fire HD6. To do that, you need to put your details in that chat box on the page there. So let me know that you're here and that you've bought the book. When you buy the book from fillyourbooks.co.uk, all you need to do is get a copy of the receipt that Amazon will send you and then forward it to the email address that's on that page. Send you the From Trouble to Triumph bailout package. So you're getting a lot for 99p. Okay. I just love marketing. I just love the psychology of it. I love making small businesses look huge. I love taking something small and making it grow. It was interesting that a couple of days ago, it was brought to my attention. I was reminded that a particular client of mine, let me explain this better. I was at a networking event, and there's one young guy who's grown his business substantially in the last 3 years, to the point where he's now having to employ other people, and he's farming out the work. And he's basically just going to project manage, book the jobs, book the work, but basically send these guys out to do the work for him. He's having to get new vehicles for his business. He's having to get finance for his business. He's changing premises. He's rebranding. It's going big, right? And then somebody asked, how did he start this whole process? Where did this all begin? Where did the seed of this planted? And it turns out it came from an interview that I did with him. I spent a couple of hours with him and gave him some ideas, and he's gone and implemented. And he's my favorite kind of person. He's an implementer, you know. And I suddenly thought, oh my God, I'd actually forgotten that that we'd had that conversation, you know. But he's gone and done it, and that's my favorite kind of person, is an implementer. You'll see in my book, Fill Your Books, it asks the question every chapter. It asks the question: are you a reader or are you an implementer? Because it's what you do that counts. And if you implement the advice in each chapter, things are going to improve for you. If you just read it and put it on the shelf, it becomes shelf help. It's no use to you. It's what you do that counts. So grab hold of the book, enter the contest, leave your details, implement the advice I'm giving you in there, turn things around, create some cash injections, have more clients, close more deals, make more money, take more time off, go and have a holiday. Go and have a holiday. Go and celebrate, you know. Spend more time with your kids. Your kids want your presence, not your presents. Go and spend more time. Measure your success by the number of hours you spend with your family. There's an idea, right? You can afford to automate a lot of things. I talk about that in the book. You can automate all your follow-up. You can automate an awful lot of systems and get them in place so that you can free yourself up and not work so hard. Okay? And stop working 80 hours for an idiot, and maybe go back to working 40 hours for a smart business owner, which is you. Okay? So thank you very much for letting me rabbit at you. I'm going to go and grab something to eat. I'm then going to follow the rest of the day's sales and the launch sequence, see if we can get an Amazon bestseller, or at least in the top 100. That'd be nice. And we'll see how we do. Leave your details so we can enter you into the contest. And I hope you have a nice weekend. If any questions, by all means, drop me an email or private message me on Facebook. You can contact me through fillyourbooks.co.uk. Follow along the launch sequence. The launch is not finished. We've launched today, but there's still other stuff to be done over the next week or so. So do follow along. If you want to check out fillyourbooks.co.uk, you'll actually be able to go back and look at the last 14 days of the launch and see what I did. Because part of what I was doing in documenting this launch was to hold myself accountable, hold my feet to the fire, and implement the stuff that I advise other people do. But it was also just a lot of fun. It was also a challenge. It's like, okay, can I do this for myself? I do it for other people all the time. Can I do it for myself? Can I implement the same strategies that I get my clients to do? Can I do them for me? Let's see what happens. I've got 3 books on Amazon already, but I haven't really promoted them that hard. I've just kind of put them up and hey, there you go. This time they said, no, hang on. Practice what you preach. Walk your talk and push this and see what happens. So that's kind of what it's about. You'll be able to look back at the last 14 days, what was done day by day. There's an education there. There's an entire set of strategies running and they're going to continue to run for at least the next week, because we ain't finished yet. Okay, so this is Jonathan Clark, author of Fill Your Books, the 5 Keys to Making More Money from Your Business. It's available on amazon.co.uk or amazon.com today for 99p. And it's a good investment for your business. If you're a startup, if you're an entrepreneur, you're a small business owner or a big business owner, there's some stuff in there for you. Please do grab it. You might win a Kindle Fire. And any questions, do get in touch. Thank you for spending time with me. I'm off to get my dinner. Have a nice time. Take care. Bye-bye.